Alright folks, welcome to... Oh no, where's my game transition? Oh, we got rid of all this stuff yesterday, that's right. Because we're doing team games. Us silly schmucks. Let me just turn all this stuff back on. As I press all the wrong buttons. Nailing it.
Transmission.
Alright, the Beard Patrol. Uh-oh, great names. Stop, I can't wait to read this. The Beard Patrol donates $10. He says, burn. Burn it with fire and salt the earth. I'm gonna go ahead and assume that's the Shave It campaign. So let me just I'm sorry if this isn't. I'm just gonna assume that's the case. That actually brings Shave It up to 15 versus the $6 of Save It.
So when's the end of this?
I put it for the day I'll be able to use when we stop casting stuff. So 27th.
Okay.
So 2 weeks or so.
Okay. Good deal.
All right, so in the top left side to kick off these qualifiers, it's going to be True Esports Blue Zerg player, Elazer!
In the bottom right, as the purple Terran, it's Lillekanin.
So I watched this show, or this movie last night called Blood and Bone. And it was a cool fight movie and whatever, and like the story was not a good story. Movie,
Was it a better story than the movie I watched?
You know what? It actually was 100%
Okay,
actually. But at any rate, it had a lot of really good fighting in it. But one of the things I just loved how cheesy and bad it was when they were introducing the fighters. And this is like back alley fighting. This isn't like, you know, wrestling arena type thing. They were doing these like, he's the baddest motherfucker from Compton downtown. He spent 6 years in a federal prison. Give it up for my man Bone. I'm just like, I wish we could do that with StarCraft players. But there's just not a lot to talk about for them. Like, Lillekanin, I think we could do something like that for, right? He's the cheesiest motherfucker. Like, you could start, like...
But no one does it for foreigners. That's for sure. Like, I guess, like, Chad motherfucking Jones is, like, the closest thing we've got. But that's not really a nickname. That's like a sentence.
I just feel... I really wish we could. And it's the sad thing is, it would actually be straight up too cringy if we started doing it too, right? Like, if we started being... I guess Fear Dragon kind of almost does it. Okay, whatever. We're talking about absolutely nothing to do with the game. We actually have some raptors coming across the map. Now, this isn't actually that much. It's worth noting Elazer is still droning behind this, so this is a bit of pressure. It might get a depot. It might force SCVs off to repair the bunker even. But this isn't an all-in. And the scary thing is, though, this is what an all-in starts to look like, and this is what every Terran player really hates playing against. It's pre-on terraces, you're expecting a lot of roaches and ravagers in the first place, and this pressure certainly isn't helping things. In fact, another depot goes down, and Lillekanin, I don't feel needed to lose either of those, first off. But secondly, I guess a little bit scared, so getting his production up in the main. No starport to go with this. Heavily supply blocked. Like, this is not a great start for him.
Yeah. 3 supply depots are on the way, and Lillekanin is, like, I mean, I feel like it's almost going for, like, this 2-base push here. And, you know, you mentioned the lack of starport, which looks really odd, but he's getting +1, he's getting stim, he's getting slow before combat shields, which is very interesting. And, I don't know, a 2-base push, I feel like it really has to catch a Zerg off guard, right? Like, that's actually a lot of, like, 2-base pushes, I suppose. But this wouldn't really catch Elazer that off guard. He's an Overlord right at the front. He obviously already has a Roach Warren, so he's not going to be caught off guard by, like, you know, only being on base Ling Tech. And he did just take a lot of damage. That supply block really hurt him. Like, that was a good, like, minute of not having production. And if you're going to follow up with an attack, and it looks like it'd be, like, including Hellbats as well, that's a big deal. If it was, like, a Magro game, then, you know, oh well, we'll get over it in 4 minutes, but... the Overlord scouts what is a suspicious, like, setup, basically.
You know, actually, side note, first off, I like the Hellen's going to get around this. Actually hit before roaches are out. Somehow, some way, he manages to get these some drone kills. But I was just going to mention, it's interesting. The last couple days we've been casting StarCraft, I think more than just the CSL, we've seen a couple of instances where supply blocks have really been hurting the game. And I certainly hope this isn't going to become a trend for all players.
Yeah. Well, I was really curious about the Marauders slow before combat shields, but I guess it's going to take them a while to get over anyway. They're not going to be too freely stimming without medevac, so the combat shields might be done by the time an attack actually occurs. But mind you, this is on 2 base. Like, if this gets absolutely destroyed, then Lillekanin is in a lot of trouble. Banelings actually would be probably a okay help if they got all the Hellbats, then the Roaches do everything else, but I think there's enough Roaches to deal with everything
I mean, I will say,
wow.
This went from being double the army supply to, before that last Corrosive Bile, being closer to even. But, yeah.
Yeah, that last Corsair Gear really took out everything. I thought his production would be able to push it back at least once, but no.
Okay, so I got to think of a way. I'm gonna try my best to do like a good intro for Lillekanin, and I gotta think of like what to say about him.
Oh, you go ahead, buddy.
So he's Danish. He's cheesy. Like, what else do we know about him?
Danish cheese. He's a cheese Danish. Cheese Danish.
There we go. He's the most delicious Danish you've ever tasted, ladies and gentlemen. Lillekanin. I do imagine we would get killed by our foreign audience.
Yeah. You ever go to Panera Bread?
No, isn't that a type of bread?
Oh, is that not a popular restaurant in Canada? I guess I never saw any in Toronto.
I don't know. I've never heard of it.
It's a restaurant that's like bread and soup and sandwiches.
Okay, because I was gonna say, in fairness, I don't go out a lot, so.
Oh, okay, and a bakery. Anyways, their cherry danishes are amazing. But since you don't know, I'm in the story.
All right, Dust Towers, ladies and gentlemen. See you soon. All right, I can't use Danish. So what's Dane? I've actually got some rhymes set up in my head. Oh, okay. Oh.
Oh God.
I got it. All right, you do Elazer first because we're on here.
All right. In the bottom left, as the blue Zerg, it is Elazer.
And coming in the top right side of the map, his cheese has more lactose than milk. It's the insane Dane with a crazy brain, the lean, the mean, Lillekanin.
I mean, most of it was 10 out of 10, but more lactose than milk.
I don't know. I was trying to think of something for cheese. I couldn't think of anything right with cheese, man. I had please, and that was it. Like, when he goes cheese, you say don't, please. Like, I don't know.
Okay, well.
Lillekanin really did not work out too well that game. But Prion Terraces, I would say Prion Terraces, Invader, like a lot of these other maps, I think we're just seeing weirder results. Okay. Oh, Command Center choice instead? No, hang on. Legit, he scouted with the SCV. So seeing that the natural base was down, he decides to play a little bit greedier. This looks a little bit funky because who does that? But it does get the Command Center up faster.
There is almost no okay, so the thing is that there's basically no reason to go for the second supply depot unless you're going for a one base build before command center. Like, right, even if they have lings coming across the map, you usually have a Reaper. Although, to his credit, he's not getting a Reaper.
Well, that's the thing. I saw the Marine first, and I really thought he was going to go for a one base opener. Something all in with the Marines, perhaps, but either way, decides not to. Now, the thing I was going to comment on this for Lillekanin was, like, it was unfortunately a supply block, but the reality is, it's not just in games we're casting, but if you're watching what few times... There's not even Terran streamers right now, but you watch people play against Terran, because that's all you can really do now, right? RIP. But you're seeing Invader, Prion Terraces, like these other maps are, I think, a little bit more difficult for a lot of these guys to play on. Elazer has that weird build, the Kelagod build or whatever on Prion, where he just doesn't even really try, he just goes mass Hellbats, right? Like, some of the best players are just saying screw it on certain maps. So I'm not surprised to see Prion not go in his favor. Dust Towers is a great map for mech. Dust Towers is a great map for anything and everything playstyle wise we know out of Lillekanin. So I'm imagining we'll see a better game out of him this time around. But make no mistake, guys, Elazer is one of the tougher Zergs on the European circuit to fight. Him and Goober right now are probably the two newer names to the scene that are proven to be the most difficult for even established pros to fight against on the regular.
Okay, so someone, CK Watch, like, linked Danish cheeses, I guess, because we were talking about Danish cheese. Cheese Danish.
Okay.
So, you know, I looked to see if there's anything good or how, like, hard it is to pronounce. And there's a cheese called Crema Dania, and I thought that was Crema Donna, and I thought it was a pun.
You're being such a Crema Donna right now, Zamagram.
I thought it was really clever, but it's Dania, and it just makes me so sad.
Dos Vidania. Don't get any Anya.
I thought these would be much harder to pronounce, to be honest.
By the way, new sub hype coming in. We got Montemusola.
Montemusola.
I wish we weren't so terrible at this.
Whatever, man. Like, this can't be blamed on us. What kind of name is that?
By the way, guys, we've got Match Arena joining us here in chat. I was going to wait to wait a few more viewers to start talking about it, but now, no time like the present. We'll get the Banshees and stuff coming across the map. Do me a favor, if you're in Twitch chat, type !ASL, and it will link the Match Arena page directly related to the ASL prize pool. And I'm not asking you to donate any of your own money. If you will and are able to, that's cool, but you can create $1 for the prize pool but without giving any of your own money, just by using the code ASLSEED on the Match Arena page. Of course, the prize money won't benefit anybody here directly today through these qualifiers, but it goes towards the overall league over the next few months through ASL Prime, which I'm not sure if we're going to be asked to be involved with any further than the qualifiers. I thought it was kind of an interesting setup. We don't really gain a lot by casting the qualifiers, but we do help them get the word out that ASL is back on Twitch, and hopefully for them, that'll help them get some more people to realize, hey, check out the ASL channel.
Yeah. I wonder how many people go to like Team Liquid or wherever they get their StarCraft 2 links and see ASL and think that we're like streaming on Ding It right now.
There's like that.
Like we would stoop that low. There's
like that one guy who's on like Pornhub, but for some reason has like a StarCraft ad on the side or something.
Oh, that's right, StarCraft. Yeah,
oh yeah, like I know Zombier thinks Team Liquid is the only place to get StarCraft stuff, guys. But I'm just saying.
Oh, is she wrong?
Alright, well, middle of the map, the Hellions not really getting a lot done, but are also keeping any lings or any kind of laser rushing by. We do have a fusion core coming down, but this really makes me question which type of upgrade the fusion core is going to be for. I think 99% of the time we assume it's Liberator's range, but it's Lillekanin. I love this guy. I'm kind of hoping it's Banshee speed.
I think it is. It's a good point, though. He's gotten both Liberators and Banshees, so it could still be both of the options coming from the Fusion Core. But I would also like to see the Banshee speed. I mean, certainly that's something we've seen before. You know, Banshee speed into Liberators, and so just pure air mech, basically. And Dusk Towers is one of those maps that you can do it on. Has a lot of base stake.
First off, Hellions get in here and catch a laser off guard. Not a lot of workers killed yet, but a decent amount, and of course the drones pulled off mining. More just gonna blitz their way through the main. So you know what? You've got 4 queens and a spine car, so let me just build 7 extra Hellions and do that same attack. So they decide to run into this base. Drones getting kind of pulled. Hellions also getting kind of low. A little bit scary here, but a laser taking those losses nonetheless. Goes from 10 to 22. I guess the only problem for Lillekanin is there wasn't enough drones at the third base.
Yeah, that was his problem.
2 more Hellions, by the way, slipped back towards the third base. This has been a fantastic... And a Liberator comes... Double Liberators coming as well. Elazer, who was sitting pretty a moment ago on like close to 60 workers, now beaten back down to 43.
Yeah, that's really nice. Now, the good news is that the follow-up from Lillekanin is not going to be this big push, at least not anytime soon. Like, he has to still get his starports up. He's only just now getting 2 more starports. So there's going to be a lot of time to remake those drones and get to a 4th base and still be able to hopefully defend against the eventual big air mech army, but I still am curious about what the fusion core was for. We still haven't seen it used.
So I think a lot of this might be the macro slip of Lillekanin. He'll actually do this a lot, and right now he doesn't have a lot of gas to spend because he just tried to dump all of his production back out, I guess. I think it's for Banshees, though. I'm almost like for certain it's Banshees, but what I love about this attack is this really did catch a laser off guard. Like, he was not expecting that to get through and do that much damage. He had 4 queens, he had a spine call at the front lines. Like, in his mind, there was no way Lillekanin was pushing up there with Hellions. So that was a fantastic move. And of course, when you beat Zerg players down to their drone like that, you're not going to have a laser. Despite his mineral count, you know, he wasn't going to have that really, really fast timing to get a bunch of whatever he was going for out. Problem is now for Lillekanin, well, he might not be using the tech lab for this, that, the other when it comes to upgrades in that fusion core. Oh, does he not realize he already finished? What?
Yeah, he does not.
There's your problem. But I was going to say, 4 starports producing Liberators, this is not going to be hard to deal with the mutas at all.
Well, it is Corruptors, thankfully, for Elazer. I think he realized kind of what was going to happen.
I almost feel like this is a worse choice.
Really?
In this one rare instance, because this will take care of the Liberators, maybe. But the Speed Banshee's going to be running around the map. The Hellions are going to be on the ground. I mean, it's going to be a moderate amount of roaches. If the Liberators stay in air-to-ground mode and kill all the roaches, then these Hellbats win.
It is a very surprising attack because it's such a small attack. You would think they would never push out with this small of an army. Like, it takes forever to get a big air army, and you don't want to sacrifice it in a clumsy attack. But he actually runs away and only loses the Hellbats.
Right, and I forgot actually...
until now.
Another aspect of this, too, is Liberators are much faster than Corruptors. They struggle to catch them, whereas Mulists do not. There's no turrets back at home to run over, unfortunately, so he's just trying to bring these back home to his production / repairing. I think every Terran player has been in this position at least once where you're like, shit, I just barely don't have enough. Gotta fall back for a little bit longer. I do like the choice to invest in Vikings. They're gonna be a lot better for fighting things like this. Corruptor's gonna be using their caustic spray ability on the command center and construction. Funny to see, but this more than anything else just baits the Terran army into fighting. Now the Liberators are really not making great use of their splash, only hitting 2 of the Corruptors at a time. So the Vikings do just start getting picked off, but he pulls back everything once more. Turret's going to come down. He's going to try and repair what he can, but this is bad because behind this there is stuff coming on the ground. There's Roaches and Ravagers right outside of his base.
I was just going to say that missile turrets would have been very helpful.
Yes, they would have,
but,
actually.
No, not now. Like, Elazer, he didn't fully ever recover from that drone loss, you know? Like, 55 drones at 10 minutes isn't, I think, the ideal. You know, like, 65 and on a 4th base would be the best. But he found an attack here that's really working out quite well. The Roaches would be able to take down any missile turret, and actually they're trying to, as he's repairing.
If the turrets actually kill that Overseer, Lillekanin would have cleaned this up much easier.
Oh, he's just going to tap out.
Yeah. The air mech style is not a bad choice, but this did not work for him in this instance. So, good game. Good game. I would say a big part of that, too, was his... I think he got a little bit over-eager after the attack went so well. Like, he killed that many drones and thought, boom, I'm in there. Just keep pushing, and I'll keep that pressure on, and I'll win. And I think if he had just bulked up instead, I think that would have gone better for him, to be completely honest.
Mm-hmm.
But that's going to be a Elazer taking the series, so congratulations to him as he advances on the brackets. Round 2 is looking really interesting to me, though, with what is possibly Wellmove versus Tefl.
Probably. Probably.
I vote we wait on that one, because that's got to be coming close to a conclusion soon. So we're going to go to a commercial break, guys, our first one of the day. Do stick around. We'll see you guys here in a few minutes.